Bisect a segment. That's going to be our first one. So you should know this is number 3 in your packet. Okay? So number 3 in your packet. Bisect a segment. So if you want to go ahead and turn that page, remember once again we're dealing with the shapes above the dashed line, not below. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, if I want to bisect this segment, what does bisect mean just for kicks?
Middle.
In the middle. So I want to cut it into 2 equal parts. Bi means 2, sect means sections. So what you're going to do is you're going to place your compass on one tip. And it's usually good to start with the left. Then what you need to do is you need to open your compass up to over halfway. It doesn't matter how far, but just so that it's over halfway. Okay? Now, this is a setting you're going to want to leave it at. So after you draw an arc, do not move it. What you want to do now is, we always call this the swing high, swing low step. Okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to swing high, and notice how I'm going to swing high, and then I'm also going to, undo that. Then I'm going to swing low. Okay, so I'm going to swing high and swing low. Does it need to be a consistent pen? No, it doesn't. You just need to make an arc above and below. Now, when you make that arc, you need to make sure that you go, you're probably going to have to go a little bit more. Okay, a little bit more this way. Okay. Now, remember what I said. We want to leave our compass at the exact same setting. So now what you're going to do, okay, is you're going to, let's switch this around. You're going to move your compass to the other mark. Okay, you're going to move your compass to the other mark, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to swing high, swing low. Now what should end up happening is they should intersect. Okay, if you've done it correctly, they should intersect. I undid that crud. There we go. Okay, and so that's what should end up happening. You should have a intersection point. Now that is what is the bisector. You take your straight edge, you're going to connect the point above and connect the point below. And that will be your segment bisector. Okay. So that is how you actually cut a segment into 2 equal parts. Pretty straightforward. All right, let's look at another one. Bisect an angle. Okay. Actually, I switched them around. Which one do I have 4?
This is number 6. Not mine.
Okay, let's go ahead and bisect an angle since we were bisecting a segment. So go ahead and go to bisect an angle. Okay? All right, what you're going to do now is you're going to go ahead and take your compass and you're going to place one tip right there. Now this is the thing, you don't want this to be a very big arc. In fact, you probably want to only be about 1/3 of the way there, okay, because we're going to be drawing some stuff out here, and so we want to make sure this arc isn't very big. What you need to do now is you need to swing your arc so that it intersects both sides of the angle. Okay. Now, you could do one big arc like that, or you could just make sure that it intersects, just do a little segment on each of the. So now what you can do, let's go ahead and move our compass. I'm going to go ahead and put my tip of my compass on the first place that the arc intersects the side. Do you see that? And then now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make an arc. Now, you need to make sure that the arc goes through what looks like the middle of the angle. Okay? So make sure that the arc goes through what looks like the middle of the angle. So there's your first arc. I want you to do the exact same thing with the other point. Notice how I put my compass here on this point? And then I want you to go ahead and swing the arc, and if you've done it correctly, you should get an intersection. So notice here, if I draw mine in, this is the second one. If I go ahead and draw my arc in, notice how it intersects. Okay, so let's go through those steps again. You're going to first of all put your arc, or your compass right there. You're going to draw, that's where the blue arc came into play. Then I'm going to move my compass to this point right here, and I'm going to draw my arc, and that's where the pink arc came into play. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a line. I'm going to draw a line using my straight edge, and that line is going to go from the vertex of the angle through that point. And that is called the angle bisector. So really what we've done is we've taken that angle and we've cut it into two congruent parts. Questions? Alrighty, pretty straightforward. Okay, any questions? Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to construct perpendiculars. Okay. So this is what you're going to do. Okay, I'm actually going to start with this side since the end of the line ends there. And notice what I'm going to do right there. Notice kind of where I put my compass. I want you to do the exact same thing. Then what I want you to do, okay, is I want you to go ahead and, okay, come on, there we go. I want you to go ahead and make an arc here, okay. I want you to make an arc here. And then I want you to continue around. And I want you to go to the other side, right here. And I want you to also make an arc there. I don't necessarily want you to draw a circle. You can, but I don't want you to. So what should end up happening is you should have two arcs. Yeah? Compass, right there. All right? So now you're going to move your compass to one of the arcs. It doesn't matter which one. Now don't draw anything yet because what we need to do now is make it a little bigger. So I'm going to make that compass a little bigger. I'm going to open it up just a hair bigger. And I'm going to swing, so hair bigger. I'm going to swing high here and I'm going to swing low. So I'm going to take my compass. Oops, wrong one. I'm going to take my compass here and I'm going to swing high and I'm going to swing low, so below the line. Don't do that. Well, anyway, I screwed that one up a little bit because my compass moved. That's what happens when you have technology. Okay, so swing high and swing low. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a new arc in since there we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and erase that line for those of you watching because I made a mistake there. There we go. So you're going to go ahead and place your compass on this line, or on this point right here, and you're going to do the exact same thing. Okay, come on, let's work. Good grief. There we go. Let's go and try it. Maybe there we go. Finally got it to work there. Oh my land. We're doing so good. There we go. Let's try and do an arc up here. There we go. Okay, so now you're going to go ahead and connect the dots. Now, if you've done it correctly, that dot should be right in the middle of that line. So like I said, if you've done things correctly, if you start at this point right here, it should go through that dot. Okay, so far so good? We got one more to look at. And that's construct a perpendicular through a point not on the line. Now this one's a little different, so you're going to need to pay attention, okay? Now you remember how I started with the dot and I made 2 arcs on the line, on the last one, right? I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start at the dot here and I'm going to make 2 arcs on the line below. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and probably need to do a little bit bigger. Let's make that compass, there we go. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and make an arc here. You see that? And then what I'm going to do is swing my compass over here, and I'm going to make an arc there. Now the further out you make the arcs, so if I would have made them closer to the arrows, the bigger your construction's going to be. I'm going to warn you. Okay? So now what you're going to do is you're going to go and you're going to place your compass on one of those arcs, just like we did in the problem before. You're going to make sure to open your compass up, remember, a little bit more than what it was just at. So remember, I want to open it up just a hair more. And on this one, since I already have a point above the line here, I'm not going to swing above. I'm just going to swing below. I'm going to swing on the opposite side of that line. So let's go ahead and make an arc right here. So now what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the other side exactly right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and place my compass on the other side, and now what am I going to do? Make an arc, and notice they should intersect. And then I'm going to go ahead and connect the two. And there you go. Pretty straightforward. So we've actually constructed, and the nice thing is we automatically know that those 2 angles are going to be 90 degrees. So this is your task, and you have the rest of the time to work. You need to finish those 4 constructions below each of the dotted lines. And that's your assignment for today. Okay, we'll continue on tomorrow, and we will be in the book tomorrow. Okay, so make sure you bring your book along.